Time to kibitz the Warzone Open. 5 seconds remaining until kickoff. There are 229 people playing. 1785 average rating you could enter as the tournament is going on. So there's going to be a little chart that pops up here soon enough. Here's the chart. Let's go to a game and jump in right now. Whoa, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of this guy. Yes, we are. He already won. Let's jump in another one. Pot Pie is the top game against Ridmay. 2200 versus 1934. These are 2-minute games. Sicilian Alpin. Okay. Space advantage. Okay. This is a tough adjustment, by the way. I've played so many 1-minute games that when I jump into a 2-minute one, those tricks that I would normally go for don't really work. They don't work, do they? So this is, it started out Sicilian Alpin, and now we have a French structure. So there was a time disadvantage from the beginning. Okay, this is a war zone. So the times are adjusted according to rating. The F file will be made use of. Bishop D3, best spot for that bishop. Castle, the rook is excited about this, and now white has absolutely no worry about D4, and the implications of this is that white can now be pressing forward more freely with E4. So I'm assuming that we'd see something like that soon enough. This bishop has seen better days, and well, I guess this could potentially be a target, but it seems just a long way off. It's a convenient move to just play rook c1 to watch over it, and sure enough, we do have this e4 move. The knight is eyeing f4. I don't know how much of an inconvenience that is. Maybe we could have queen d2 to watch over it. And I think something as straightforward as doubling on the f-file, and white is going to be doing very well. Rook b1, b5. I don't know how purposeful the rook b1 move is if we're seeing b5, unless white's intention is to crack at it yet again with a4. So that could have been an idea as well. Queen to d2, less than a minute for team white. Queen to d2, watches over f4. At any moment, we could just have this takes and the bishop is unleashed on this diagonal. Okay, I guess prepping b4. Time disadvantage is maybe getting a bit... it's a bit of an issue, is it not? Okay, so white is going in a much different direction. This move is saying maybe double on the b-file unless the rook is planning on swinging over to f2. Can't say for certain. h4 looking to shoo this knight away, and it is shooed away. h6 is going to be incredibly weakened. Here comes f6. There's going to be a knight that wants to get right here. h6, g6, knight h2, g4, f6. Bad news for black. h2, g4, f6. Big trouble. Here we go. Weakened squares. Weakened squares. Is this knight going to be able to get here successfully? I don't think that there's going to be a problem with that, or is there? If bishop takes, take with the pawn. That way the knight could play here to defend. If pawn push, the queens are in tension with one another. I think ideally black would like to get the queens off the board. That way they're not going to get mated on g7 at least. However, this pawn is still a giant thorn, and now knight f6, I guess black is planning to run in this direction, but it's dropping h7. So this right here, big trouble. The queen is looking for g7, and the knight says, not so fast. 17 seconds for white. We'll see right after this game what the standings are. 17 seconds to 47 seconds. Queens are in tension with one another. g4, you kick this knight away. The queen wants to get to f6 and then mate on g7. Will it happen? The queen is a step away. Actually, the knight is here to watch over this square, but the rook can remove the knight. Uh-oh. There's not going to be a good solution, and the time is now balancing out here. 14 seconds to 22 seconds. Not a good solution. Queen takes rook, queen takes knight, you name it. This is going to be TKO. 12 seconds is plenty of time, is it not? f7 is hit, the queen is hit, the king is going to be hit. Queen takes pawn. Oh, kitchen sink land. 10 seconds is more than enough time. Mate in 2. Queen takes pawn and then queen here. Oh, the king is running a little bit. That is game over. Let me jump out and see how the standings are. Who is winning? The leaders. Whoa, somebody has 20. A couple people have 20. Let's see a top game. This is somebody who has 20. Somebody who's 1466. What? 1466 versus a 1909. Kidding me? That's crazy town. Oh, well, actually this guy is way down material. He is going to be dropping back, I would assume. We could also have... What else can we have here? We could have resignation one day, or we could experience... Oh, we actually had... Here's something you can't see. White actually offered a draw. White offered a draw. It was like, please, just accept this draw. You know you want to draw. And black is like, no, you will have no draw. You will suffer. I will beat you. Black is up on the clock and the position. Okay, we're just having the clock being milked. Actually, it's not exciting. And if it's not exciting, I'm done viewing it. Okay. These two guys here, Mule Train. We got a 22-34 versus a 21-47. These guys are battling it out. We have some action here, so we're going to go where there is action. None of that Nona Fry stuff. Avoid the Nona Fries is the plan, basically. Avoid the clock tickers and the positions that we know the result to. Do we know the result to this one, however? Okay, D file is, well, not yet completely opened. My first thought, we were just going to have takes right there, but no, not the case. All right, so C5, jump a knight into B6. You know, this is one of these positions where it might seem appealing to maybe cement a knight on B6, but it could find itself out of play. Dark square bishops have been exchanged. Is there a way to exploit this king position? I'm not really seeing that happen. This knight is certainly a long way off from eyeing these two squares, but now, okay, this square is maybe a big issue. B5, however, is a nice shot. This knight, for the moment, can't make use of its of the C3 square, but maybe it could get to the C4 square. Forks, calling all forks. C3, the knight is hitting the house. A2, D5, D1. Where is the technique? It could still be a bit tricky. This is the leader with 26 points. He is the pack leader right there, I think. I'll check the leaders right after this. Let's see how this is going to finish up. Still requiring some technique here. Keep more pieces on the board. Don't take with the rook. Take with the pawn. This is more exciting than the other game that was completely beat. Watch, that guy will be inferred. He'll somehow, he maybe somehow manage to win. Queen E2, guard against these checks. Okay, now the queen F1. What's the follow-up, though? Not really seeing it. Okay, soon enough, knight D5. Still some hope for white, or not. Or not. Okay, because after king H2, rook F2, hitting the queen and G2. Lights out. Lights out. Queen takes G2. Game over. I was just ready to say back to tournament. I could say that. I could say that back to tournament, but I'm not playing in this one. He's still up there. 38, 30, 28. Another game. Let's try this guy. He's a new one. Slipknot. 1878. 1878 versus 2013. Rook and pawn endgame. Black is doing better. Black might be chipping away at this this guy who has 30 points right here. King activity. Well, it's still a little tactical here. Still very tactical. What about rook here? Uh-oh, black could be getting mated. Uh-oh. We could have a perpetual check, maybe? Oh, looking for mate. Rook F8 is a mate threat. Oh, boy. Oh, it's defended. The king can sneak away in this direction. Now the king is active. Black is going to win this. Unless time is going to be an issue. The king is not going to be getting mated. He's just improving his position as these checks are being thrown in. He's just inching closer and will soon be contributing to taking away squares from this king. There's always a perpetual check, but black could be getting more than that. However, white is still being a bug. Looking to grab this pawn. I think coming calmly all the way back to defend taking the pig off of that second rank is probably the cleanest way to do things. Okay, 16 seconds for black. 3 pawns. 3 pawns plus. Exchange rooks. Go from tactical to completely technical position. Mate threat. Rook b2, defend the pawn, push these pawns, you name it. Oh, that's going to be game over. 7 seconds. Black should be able to do this, right? Move the king here, push the pawn. Moving fast enough, it seems. 5.6, less than 5. Getting a rook. What? Why did he get a rook? Oh, that's mate. It doesn't matter. Back to tournament. Back to the leaders. Who are the pack leaders? 38, 29, 28. Let's grab another top game. One of the top games. Pot pie again. 2200 versus 1924. Ooh. Okay, this one is just starting out. I have to see what the beginning of the game was. Okay, we had like a Smith-Morra gambit declined. Dark square bishops will be coming off soon. F3 is okay. Could the queen really make use of this diagonal? Maybe. Queen check, you could grab this pawn. Okay, it's not played. Right here is the a threat of maybe winning a piece, but the rook is there in time to defend one of the minor pieces. Now there's possibilities for a discovered check against the queen. Tricky knight. Knight c5, grab this bishop, and this position is destroyed, but it's not without allowing the queen to grab on a2. Okay, calmly coming back. A more positional approach. You could grab this pawn right here. Okay, black is up a pawn. Are there any sneaky tricks? Okay, just getting off of this diagonal, a good prophylactic move to make. Good prophylactic move. King takes, knight f4 as a possibility. Okay, the rooks are coming off. The queen is getting this pawn, but the queen is maybe getting this one. The rook is hit, however. Rook d5, prevent the queen check. I think I'm liking black better here. Rook d5. The queen still has pressure on b2. The knight can come back to f6. And what else? Okay, rook b5. Everything seems to be defended well on the black side. With rook b5, knight f6. The king is tucked in very nicely. Okay, the rook is having thoughts of just getting to a1, but are we going to have queen takes b7? White getting a pawn back, but black having a more active rook. Rook b4 might be a move. Keep the queens on the board or not. Okay, we're not having a queen trade. The queen is still very active. I liked rook b5. Getting at this point, b2, and then looking to take on c3, hitting the rook. About even on time. White trying to come up with something here. It's difficult to get these pawns rolling. Rook a2 seems very active, but it would run into bishop d5. Skewers. So the knight is kicked away. The king now has a flight square. 2 reasons to want to do g3, basically. Get out of there, knight, and flight square for king. Balanced with time, 45 seconds each. Queen d2, I guess, is just protecting all base points. This pawn is pinned. Getting out of the pin right away. Good idea. How to get this c-pawn rolling? He is passed. A slight time advantage. The queen is eyeing h3, but I don't know, even if she's there, just backing up 1, the queen is there to watch over h2. Okay, this is available right now, but there is a check. The king is going back soon. No, he's not. No, he's not. Why did he go there? I don't understand. That is suicidal, isn't it? When you go to h6 like that? Okay, well, we're going to have this, aren't we? Okay, now white has a time advantage, a material advantage. Things are looking good for Team White. And not so good for Team Black, who is down time and position. The queens are coming off. And I'll watch the end of this. I'm almost 100% certain who's going to win. White's going to win this 99.5 times out of 100. And they did not make me a liar. Okay, who is up there? 66, 54, 51. Another top game. Let's see that leader. What is he eating? What is this guy eating? I'm going to flip the board. I want to see things from his perspective. Let's see. Let us see. Oh, man. Let us see what this guy is eating. He's eating more than granola bars. This knight would love to get to d4 or sack himself on h3 out of nowhere. What is that? I have to learn that move right there. Just sack the piece instead of posting it on a nice square. I have to learn that one. Oh, keep in mind, or no, I was just ready to say white was down material. That's not the case. I lied. Black has 2 pawns for the piece, and okay, only later makes use of d4. A strong knight, difficult to get rid of. You get rid of the knight, and now you have to deal with the passed d-pawn, which might not be so bad. Take the knight, and then play bishop here, have the bishop be a blockader, and get these pawns rolling in some way. Or maybe even better, this is a nice diagonal for that bishop. Maintaining 1 pawn here in the center. Bishop to this square, giving a check. Less than a minute for white against the tournament leader with 1:27 remaining. This guy's flying. These 2 pawns are passed. This pawn is blockaded. This rook is getting active. These rooks are sneaking in. White is neutralizing this rook that was cutting off the king. I really have no idea how this can end. Pawn push, bishop check might be an idea. This king is running short on squares, has no legal moves at the moment. Looking for checks is black, I think, with rook to h3. Very active pieces for black. The rook's functioning both laterally and along these files. A lot of ground being covered. The king is now just trying to run away, and I think he is able to do that successfully. King here. Time situation, less than a minute for black now, who has been rattling off these moves in a way that is very difficult to keep up with. Okay, so trying to dislodge that bishop from its nice post. It's reasonable, and white says, no, I will stay right here. You will not push me around with b5. King improvement, this is purposeful. Now we have g5, g4. These pawns inch closer, and this knight, well, really just black does not like to have to deal with any passed pawns. Forget about the knight not liking them. No pieces like to have to stop a passed pawn. This knight is now boxed out by that dark square bishop. The king is a fighting piece. There is no serious pawn threat here that white has. Okay. I mean, like this guy is passed. He can't get working, though. What does he do? So, king up. The rook is hit. The knight is pinned. Time situation, less than 30. Oh, giving this up? Is this a savable position? This pawn is passed. Can the king stop these 2 and this pawn get marching? Oh, this pawn is passed as well. Oh, this is going to be a win for the leader. The pack leader is not leaving his post. Oh, that's game over. We don't have to watch anymore. He won. You're just going to have to believe me. You're going to have to believe me. Take my word for it. He is going to win that one. Once again, that is like a 99 out of 100 type of game. But this guy has something to say about this tournament. 22-35 player. I'm looking from this guy's perspective. I want to know the tricks of the trade here. So, material is balanced. Looking for mate right here. The knight runs away. There was not knight h4 to defend against g2. The queen is hit. The knight is intolerable. The knight is taken. This knight is constrained to g2. Now we have a role reversal. This knight wants to be able to move, but when you ask him where you're going to move, he doesn't. He kind of just looks at you silly. c3 shuts down this bishop on the diagonal. Now pawn takes bishop was threatened. The bishop gets out of the way and is hitting at d3 for its 3rd time. Rook, bishop, queen. Soon enough, a 4th is going to be hitting here, and things become very difficult, not to mention that e4 is available, breaking at everything. Not looking good for Team White, who is really playing on 3 ranks right here. Ranks 1, 2, and 3 versus 5 ranks for black. e4, and I think we can maybe even flip the switch on this one and go elsewhere. This is a successful pawn break. How do you deal with that? You really don't. You just sidestep the pawn takes queen, and this bishop is out of here. He's out of here. Or like that. That's actually cleaner. That is much cleaner. And you know what? Time issue. Do I really have to watch this one any further? This Mr. Pawns guy, I think we can say, is going to win. You're just going to have to believe me once again. Black is going to win that one 99 out of 100 times. This guy is still around Leaders 104. What is this guy eating? I keep saying it. I want to know. What kind of granola bars is this guy chewing on here? Okay, e5 is the one break, I guess, to get in, or this pawn advance to induce weaknesses on f5. b5, b4 to kick this knight around, but I think it would be a case of kicking the knight to a favorable square. He wants to go here anyhow. Or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he didn't. This pawn is dead. He's a dead duck right here on c2. Okay, so white is up a pawn, and this knight is going to find a nice home on d5. I think it would have been better to maintain that tension, because now it just helps this rook out, unless there's tactical shot like we're just seeing, exploiting this pin, something I didn't see. Oh, and there we go with the knight. You could also grab this knight. This is probably close to game over again. Are we going to have resignation? Bishop takes pawn. This is just the mopping up phase of the game. I guess we'll watch a little bit more of it. Pawn push, you name it. We're going to have a tsunami of pawns. Support this bishop. He's not going anywhere. Push, push, push. No issue with time. No issue with position. I think this is once more one of these 99 out of 100 games. Black will win. Is it not? What's the verdict? Give me some pointers in the Twitch chat. Do I abandon these games that are completely dead, or do I stick around and watch paint dry? Paint dry mode, or flip the switch quickly in the Twitch chat. Next. Somebody said next. I agree. I agree. And if you want to blame me for clicking on next, it was Delicon and the Tricky Knight who said so. So blame them. Get on their case. In the meantime, who is challenging for first? Popeye is up there, the pack leader. No pressure. No pressure. Flip. Let's see what the pie has going on here. Knight g6. Okay, this is very awkward now. The queen could not only get hit, but this door has been slammed on the bishop. The bishop is not seeing in this diagonal just yet. But if it did go there, it's just biting on a rock. In the meantime, okay, black has a space advantage. The f-file has been peeled open. e4 becomes very important to control. Knight d2 to e4 is there just in time. The bishop probably does well to just sit on its home square. The knight takes up a nice residence here, and what we could see if we have too many exchanges, and that's not one I was expecting. I thought bishop takes would have been better, but we're not having that. Pawn push. Things are getting very violent. f5 is a threat, hitting with a fork. Ooh. Is there going to be a dent? Is the 6 max going to put a dent in the pack leader? Okay, queen here to control this g5 advance. And not to mention facilitating this pawn advance. Okay, so that is pretty interesting. It also frees up that d4 square for the knight, and the knight can maybe be making use of e2. This pawn seems like it's a little bit vulnerable to just being captured. Okay, the knight is a very tricky piece, however, and keep in mind that if knight takes knight, pawn takes, there'd be a check. So very tricky now. Pawn takes with check, maybe something that white overlooked, or did they? Now we have structural changes wherever you look, along with the fork. The exchange is there. Pawn push. Pawn push. There's possibilities for a bishop check. This pawn cannot be underestimated as well. Less than a minute for black. Rook is now very active. e6, d3. The pawns are advancing on both sides, both having just a couple squares away from... Oh, wait a second. There was a missed opportunity. Queen check on c4. Black just missed it right there. Mate threat on g7. Dark square weaknesses. Pawn push. Potential fork on e7. Uh-oh. Is there a way to save this? I think there is. King g1. The rook could give a check. The bishop or rook can block. I think it'd be better to block with the bishop, or would it? Pawn push. Oh, it's with check. This is mate. No, it's not going to be mate just yet. There's at least perpetual. The queen could go back and forth. Is this going to be mate? Bishop check. Having to give it back up. The king is a... What a walk. King h4. Can he get that king? Queen takes rook. Uh-oh. You can promote. This king is running way out of squares. 22 seconds remaining for black. Chekaruski on g3. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is mate. No, it's not. No, it's not. The queen is dead. Oh, 19 seconds. The king is a fighting piece. Whoa. What happened there? Bishop has to block, and now the rook is dead. Oh, what a comeback. The queen could take the pawn. 10 seconds remaining. Or a mate in 2 threat. Queen f2 to h2. What a comeback. Oh, man. Oh, black resigns. No, excuse me, white resigns. What a comeback in that one. Oh, man. Leaders, leaders. How much time? Less than 5 minutes remaining. Pawns is up there. Let's track down another one. Another one. Another one. Pawns. What is this guy? What is this guy up to right here? Pawns is on the black side here. What a battle that one was. Okay, the knight is there just in time to guard h7. There was bishop takes knight threat, and then bishop takes h7. Whoo, man. That was exciting stuff right there. g6. Okay, g6 is just preventing any nonsense right there. White is looking for a minority attack with b4, b5. Black is preventing that right away. There is no a4. Both queen and knight are there to watch over. Otherwise, that might have been a good idea. The knight is playing here, so that bishop f5 is there, exchanging off. Classic bad for good bishop. Or knight there. Okay, trying to pick up the knight for bishop exchange. What a big transition this game is from last game. I don't know that we're really going to see another one that was as crazy as that one, with both sides just really pushing their pawns right at their opponent. Those pawns were so close to queening for white in that game. Okay, anyhow, minor piece, or the minority attack is successful. Now there's a problem on c6. Less than a minute for the leader here, Pawns, who's weighing in at 22.35 and has 156 points in this tournament so far. A tournament that is winding down very quickly. About how much time left? 3 minutes remaining until we have a leader. Who is it going to be? We are going to see. It's not going to be me. This is more laid back, though. It's more laid back, much less stressful. We could see a fork happening very soon. If takes, bishop takes, there would be a fork on those rooks, and now we have a skewer. Forks and skewers everywhere. And after the smoke clears, I believe black stands better. Queen moves, bishop takes rook, queen takes pawn, black is up a pawn. This is not looking good for Team White in this position or on the clock. Well, it's pretty even on the clock. What do we do here? White needs to keep a close eye on this c-pawn. #1 priority. Don't let this pawn do anything exciting. So rook is here. The king is okay. Has a flight square. There might, however, be a queen check followed by a rook here, and there's mate threats on g8, or excuse me, f8. Serious threat. I think the rook needs to give a check, and I think, ooh, really? We could just have pawn push? That's saving, right? And now the queen is there to watch over f8. That's sneaky. Oh, this is also sneaky. That was mate. g3 was not played. That hurts. Game over right there. Who are the leaders? Who are the leaders? 176, 162, 130. These two guys are neck and neck. Let's try this guy. Is he ready to win? What is f3? Is f3 a mouse slip? Maybe not. Okay, let's flip the board on this one. This one could turn out to be a massacre very quickly. 1590 rated versus 2147. This guy is beating people up left and right. Oh man. Oh man. H3. What's the intention of this advance? There's actually two reasons behind h4. h3 to be a thorn in the white side and also clear the way for knight h5 stuff. If you could imagine this diagonal being controlled by a bishop or a queen, then there's possibilities for like a knight h5 to g3 type of thing. Sort of like a fishing pole sort of thing that goes on with that g3 square. We're not seeing anything except... Oh, well, game drawn, mutual agreement. Did the tournament end? I don't know what that was about. A draw. What kind of tactic was that? What just went on right there? What is this guy? This is the pack leader. There's only 40 seconds left. If he's not able to win within those 40 seconds, that's going to be it. And it's not looking like it's going to finish. 19 seconds remaining. No time remaining. This one is just going to be called. Oh, is that going to be it? The knight's in a pin. It doesn't really matter. Could just have the clock tick on this one. Nothing exciting here. Tournament over. It says it's completed. This one's just going to be called any second. Who are the leaders? Who is going to be awarded the winner? Complete. It's official. Pawns. The guy who's rated 2235 was the winner with a score of 176. In second, 162, 159. These guys right here get to enjoy the confetti. Good games all.